कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन ma karma phalahetur hurmate sangostva karmani. You have the right to work only, but never to its fruits. Let not the fruits of action be your motive, nor let your attachment be to inaction.
Good morning, everyone. We are gathered here today to celebrate the 9th Foundation Day of IIM Sambalpur. On this momentous occasion, we would like to invite our esteemed guests, Mr. Arindam Mukhopadhyay, Partner, India Accelerator. Please give a huge round of applause. Mr. Deepak Sharma, Co-Partner, India Accelerator. Mr. Hiranmaya Mahanta, CEO of iHub Gujarat. Mr. Shishant Kumar, Founder and Principal, SKN Ventures and Indus Capital USA. And Mr. Bodhisattva Sanghapriya, Founder and CEO, IG Drones. Also, the Director of IIM Sambalpur, Professor Mahadev Jaiswal, for the lamp lighting ceremony. Welcome, sir.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिः परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापम् सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तुते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषा
Thank you, our esteemed guests and Professor Jaswal for lamp lighting ceremony. We would like to call upon stage Mr. Amrut Mohanty, Chief Administrative Officer in charge of IIM Sambalpur, to welcome our honorable guest with saplings. We welcome you, sir, Mr. Arindam Mukhopadhyay, Partner, India Accelerator. Mr. Sushant Kumar, Founder and Principal, SKN Ventures and Indus Capital USA. Mr. Hiranmaya Mahanta, CEO, iHub Gujarat. Mr. Deepak Sharma, co-partner, India Accelerator. Mr. Bodhisattva Sangapriya, founder and CEO, IG Drones. We would now like to call upon Director Sir Professor Mahadev Jaiswal to address the gathering. Please welcome.
Good morning. Mr. Arindam Mukhopadhyay, partner, India Accelerator. Mr. Hinmay Mahanta, CEO, iHub Gujarat. Mr. Sushant Kumar, founder and principal, Ventures Indus Capital, USA. Mr. Bodhisattva, founder and CEO, IG Drones. Mr. Deepak Sharma, co-founder and managing partner, India Accelerator. And also our Honorable Minister, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, who will be giving his address virtually. My faculty colleagues, invited guests, media, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of IIM Sambalpur, I welcome you on the 9th Foundation Day celebration of our institute. It is my privilege to welcome my eminent guests who have come from all over the world, some from Gujarat, some from Delhi, some from US, and they are all working in the startup ecosystems. And as you all know, this institute was set up in 2015 on 23rd September. And within this 8 years of journey, it has created its own niche among the top institutes. The vision of IIM Sambalpur is to nurture responsible leaders with entrepreneurial mindset, with core values around innovation, inclusiveness, and integrity. We also had a privilege that the founding stone of this permanent campus was laid down by Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji on 2nd January 1921. And within a very short period, we have moved in this campus this year in June. Some of the unique achievement during the last 8 years are that in 2019, we created history among the top B school in India when IIM Sambalpur MBA admission achieved 50% gender diversity, and that was the highest among the IIMs and top B school. And not only that, after that, the same model, the same policy was rolled out by all other IIMs, and everywhere now the gender diversity is more than 30%. So we can say that we were the pioneer in creating gender diversity, at least from the IIM perspective. And we are very proud to know that our parliament has passed the bill of 33% reservation for women in parliament as well as legislations. And credit goes to our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, under whose dynamic leadership this kind of achievement our country has been achieving. We have recently seen the success, grand success of G20 under the presidency of India. We have seen the success of Chandrayaan 3. India became the first country to to land in the southern pole of moon. Such a remarkable achievement. And in terms of IIM Sambalpur achievement, in line with what our central government has been doing, like gender diversity, for example, we were the pioneer. And this particular batch this year, MBA 2023-25, has got 60% female in the class. Recently, the news channels have analyzed and to understand the diversity not only in gender but also in terms of other discipline other than earlier. Majority of IIMs, 80 to 90%, used to be engineers, but this year's analysis, IIM Sambalpur has become the number one in terms of overall diversity across IIMs, and that has also appeared in the news day before yesterday. Number two is IIM Ahmedabad. Number one is IIM Sambalpur in terms of overall diversity. So these are the remarkable achievement our institute has achieved during the last 8 years. Because we believe on 3 I's, that is inclusiveness, innovation, and integrity. So in terms of inclusiveness, we can claim that a lot of milestones we have already achieved. Of course, many things to be done. Now, tons is about innovation. And innovation today is all known through startups and incubation. IIM Sambalpur has set up a Section 8 company to incubate micro entrepreneurs, artisans, weavers, and also startups in the digital field. And in that process, today we are meeting here. And this year's theme of our Foundation Day is also accelerating startup ecosystems in country. We have also set up our center in New Delhi, and our program on MBA for working professional will be soon starting this month itself, next month itself in October. We also have a big plan that in terms of our innovations in Delhi center, we'll be also creating a huge incubation center in support of all the people sitting here. They are all our partners. Today we'll be signing MOU with some of them, and we'll keep signing almost every week some new IIMs, new MOUs with some of these pioneering startups and innovators. We also have a plan to create a program of MBA for bureaucrats, which will be again in a dual degree with French University. So this year is going to be a very different year for IIM Sambalpur, and we have a vision that we would like to have our revenue stream 50% from our education and 50% from our innovation. And that is going to be another uniqueness of our institute. And that is where startup and incubations are going to be the focus area. We also had MOU with SIDBI, and SIDBI has been helping us financially to take the master viewers of this region into digital platforms and to entrepreneur journey. And very recently, we successfully conducted one such programs. About 28 master viewers were here for 12 days, 12 weeks program. And that has got certificate from IIM Sambalpur, and now they are putting their product, onboarding their product on digital platform in ONDC as well as on Flipkart. We also have MOU with Flipkart to digitalize all the master viewers product, which is also in the process. We have a great plan to create 3 big projects in this year. The first one we are calling, as you all have heard about Silicon Valley, but here we are setting up bunkarvalleys.com to promote master viewers and artisans. That is the first project which we are just starting. The second project where Odisha is known for is on minerals and mining. We are starting a study to understand what value this mineral and mining industry is actually doing for Odisha and for the people of this region. In order to understand that value creations, we are setting up another project called mineralvalues.com, and that will again be a very unique project. And the third project which we will be launching is called Digital India or digitalvalue.com, where how digital India is actually creating leadership, and we have seen UPI and ONDC and UID, which has become the international unique digital platforms. So these are the three areas where through various organizations we'll be working as a separate project to promote these three concepts. We also have plan to make this institute known for public participations in terms of decision making. And in that process, we would like to democratize entire decision making process and work with state as well as central government and local government to inculcate the culture of democratic decision making, because we still have the British legacy among our bureaucrats where citizens are treated differently depending on his or her socioeconomic status. I think time has come. India has to show that every citizen is equal and they are the owner, not the bureaucrat. So in that process, we'll be starting a very unique project, and Hirnamay is here, who will be helping us how he has done in Gujarat. If you go and see in Gujarat, culture of working in the bureaucracy is totally different. I think time has come where other states, including Odisha, has to also adopt such model. And IIM Sambalpur is going to take up that project in line with what Gujarat has done. Of course, Odisha government is doing excellent work. There are some pioneer projects like Mission Shakti, which is empowering women's, rural women's through self-help group. It has 5T projects to transform education, hospitals, everything, which are very unique projects of the state government. And we have seen one of the best governed state in the country is Odisha. A lot of change are happening here and a lot of vibrations are happening here. And I'm sure IIM Sambalpur will be able to evaluate into those institutes of state government as well. We are extremely thankful to our Honorable Minister of Education and Entrepreneurship and Skill, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, who has been constantly guiding us in our vision. Due to some emergency, he could not come here, but he will be giving a virtual address. And I'm sure in next program, we'll be again inviting him here. But he has been telling us about three unique projects that what IIM Sambalpur should be doing. The first one is that IIM Sambalpur must promote entrepreneurial culture in the Odisha, because Odisha has everything except entrepreneurship. And that is what his vision is, that IIM Sambalpur should create entrepreneurial culture among the minds and brains of human resource of Odisha, so that it can create wealth for Odisha as well as for the nation. The second idea which he has been telling us is that the mining and mineral industries of Odisha, what value it is adding to the local people and local industries, that IIM Sambalpur should study and guide us and guide to central as well as state government that what should be the value creation methodology and pedagogy from the mineral and mining industries. And as well as natural resource, for example, forest and water. The third aspect which he has been guiding us and his thought process is that Odisha has a lot of intellectual resource, a lot of educated people, a lot of artists, a lot of art and culture, and how that can also come into the commercial field and create value, wealth for themselves, for their family, as well as for the state. So these are the three ideas which our Honorable Minister, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, has been talking to IIM Sambalpur, and I'm sure under his guidance and leadership, we will be taking up those projects to create uniqueness for our institute as well as for the state. We are also extremely thankful to our Prime Minister Office, Dr. P.K. Mishra, who has been giving all kind of support for strengthening the culture as well as infrastructure of the institute. We are thankful to Ministry of Education for their support, and with their support, we could build this campus. And this campus has some very unique features. For example, we are the first institute in the country which has got three different kind of board in the class. That is, we have a smart board, we have whiteboard, as well as we have blended board. We'll be having a very unique recreation center, which includes FIFA standard football ground. which is about to be completed. And most importantly, you can see our campus depicts the local art and culture of Sambalpuri, Ikat, which again reflects the sentiment connect of the local people and local populations. And we strongly believe that this region has a very strong culture and art, and that needs to be recognized globally. And that is the direction which IIM Sambalpur has been doing and will be doing. I'm very proud about my faculty because they are very much engaged in all their activities in research, in terms of teaching, in terms of creating new knowledge, in terms of creating innovation and startup cultures among our students, as well as interacting with industries. Our students are having very vibrant activities through their various clubs and committees. In fact, this institute is mostly driven by our students, all the activities, and we are in the backside. So these are the kind of democratic process which institute has inculcated in terms of how we work together. I'm sure today's event will enlighten us because we have some very eminent people. They may not be known in the media because they don't want to be known in the media because they are the sincere workers and sincere contributors in their field, which you'll be hearing from them. Maybe some very important announcement also will be coming from them in terms of how they're going to support and make the institute one of the best institute in terms of startups and innovation culture. With this, I again welcome all my eminent panelists, media, invited guests, and faculty as well as my students. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best for the 9th Foundation Day of IIM Sambalpur.
Thank you, sir. Today, we have among us our guest of honor, Mr. Arindam Mukhopadhyay, partner at India Accelerator. Mr. Arindam has an impressive track record. He has previously been the Vice President and Indian Head of Consulting at Gartner and a member of the India Executive Leadership Council. He holds an advanced management program from the Wharton School and a certification in supply chain design from MIT Professional Education. India's startup ecosystem is thriving and he strongly believes in its potential to inspire and drive for positive change. He works with brilliant and ambitious budding entrepreneurs, guiding and advising them at early stage innovation. Throughout his illustrious career, spanning over 2 decades, Mr. Arindam has been an active angel investor, collaborating and mentoring exceptional entrepreneurs. Today, we also have among us Mr. Deepak Sharma, who is the co founder of India Accelerator and IA Labs. He is an angel investor by vocation, a serial entrepreneur by profession, and an aspiring yogi by mission. He is an engineering graduate from Punjab Engineering College and has worked in the information technology domain for more than 25 years. As a founding member of multiple successful startups, he has undoubtedly left his mark on the world of entrepreneurship and serves as an inspiration to many. We welcome you, sir, to share a few words with the students of IIM Sambalpur.
Good afternoon, everyone. Professor Jaiswal, sir. Hiranmay Mahanta ji. Mr. Sushant Kumar. Mr. Bodhisattva. My colleague Arindam, distinguished guests, faculty members, and dear students. It is a great honor for me to be talking to you today on this very exciting occasion, the 9th Foundation Day of IIM Sambalpur. It's indeed a privilege to be amongst such bright and talented minds. And I'm particularly honored to represent India Accelerator. Today, I want to talk to you about a topic which is very close to my heart: entrepreneurship and startups. And this also ties back with one of the core values of IIM Sambalpur, which is innovation. We live in a time of incredible opportunities. The world is changing faster than we could change. And there lies the opportunity to shape our destinies, to create something meaningful, and to leave a lasting impact to the world. I would like to share some facts and numbers from the overall macroeconomic situation that we see across the world, within India, and from the startup world. We all know that India is the fifth largest economy, and it is projected to be the third largest with a GDP of $6 trillion by 2030, by $13.2 trillion by 2040, and $22 trillion by 2050. When you compare these numbers from where the GDP is at this point in time, that is almost like 7x to 8x jump in the GDP in the next 20-25 years. Let's jump into the startup specific world. In 2016, not very far away from where we are currently, we just had 456 startups. Fast forward to the present era, we have almost 99,000 startups which are registered with DPIIT. 2016, we just had 8 unicorns. Today, we have 108 unicorns. Also think of it from the overall technology perspective. Late 90s, we saw the internet revolution that completely revolutionized the way we were interacting in the world. Early 2000s, we saw Apple and the smartphone. In the current era, we are seeing artificial intelligence, machine learning, and generative AI disrupting the world, leading us into the fifth industrial revolution. Now, these kind of changes which are happening across the world, you can maximize the impact and create a lasting impact to the country, towards the nation, and towards the society by being an entrepreneur, by being a startup founder, by being a job creator. So I want to share with you some of the reasons why you should consider becoming a startup founder. And more importantly, how India Accelerator can help you on this specific journey. You all want to pursue your respective passions in life, whether you are in job or you want to start your own startup and want to become an entrepreneur. There is nothing better than running your own business, than starting your own startup or becoming an entrepreneur when you are pursuing your own passion. Work does not feel like work when you have your own baby, when you are nurturing your own specific startup, when you are trying to create an impact across the world. You have to be passionate about the problem that you are trying to solve. So, this, in a way, helps you pursue your specific passion. Now, we all want learning and growth as part of our career. Some of you have major in marketing, some of you have majors in finance, and so on and so forth, strategy, and so on and so forth. When you are becoming an entrepreneur, when you are a startup founder, you have to wear multiple hats. You need to have a strategy, you need to have an execution, you need to look at your finances, you need to look at your go to market, you need to look at your hiring, you need to look at your overall management of how you run the business, you need to look at team building. There cannot be a better learning and growth and opportunity for you when you start your own specific startup. Look at it from a job creation perspective. It is so much rewarding from an aspect that you are creating jobs, you are contributing towards economy and towards nation building. Also, from an innovation and impact perspective that you could lead, your startup could be the next game changer. And last but not the least, in terms of wealth creation. To support startups and entrepreneurship, you need a right partner. India Accelerator is thrilled to partner with IIM Sambalpur to promote entrepreneurship not only on the campus but also in the state of Odisha and across the nation. We want to build a startup ecosystem where you have great mentors helping you, guiding you in your startup journey. There are ample funding opportunities for your specific startup, and there are huge avenues of business growth. From an India Accelerator perspective, from specifically from an Odisha perspective, we are trying to stitch together an ecosystem where we have mentors, where we have investors, where we have industry leaders, where we have academia as IIM Sambalpur, and you, dear students, to be part of this specific ecosystem. We are trying to set up an entity called IA Mart, which stands for Mining, Art and Craft, Agriculture. And this aligns with Professor Sir's vision and also with the vision of our Honorable Education Minister. In this specific regard, we are also equally excited to announce that every specific startup which is incubated from IIM Sambalpur, when it is ready with a proof of revenue and in a shape where it could be flipped to an accelerator, we are promising you a funding of 50 lakhs per startup. Over a 4-year period, with 2 startups flipping over from incubator to an accelerator, this amounts to a funding of 4 CR. There cannot be a better time than now and a better place than IIM Sambalpur to become startup founders. If the likes of Google and Facebooks can come from Stanford and Harvard campuses, why should IIM Sambalpur be left behind? Remember, the journey won't be easy, but it will be equally rewarding. Thank you once again for the opportunity, Professor Sir, for partnering with us, and all the best students to you for your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful and valuable words, emphasizing on innovation and startups in India. We now call upon stage Professor Mahadev Jaiswal, Mr. Arindam Mukhopadhyay to sign an MOU. This collaboration is a joint effort to nurture innovation and startup ecosystem in the state and in the nation. In this objective, an MOU is being signed between IIM Sambalpur and India Accelerator. We now welcome Mr. Hiranmaya Mahanta, CEO, iHub Gujarat, our keynote speaker. He is the nodal agency of Government of Gujarat to develop innovation and startup ecosystem in the state. As a student, he was awarded by former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam at IIM Ahmedabad. He is passionate to develop and harness inclusive innovation and startup ecosystems, processes, pedagogies, and institution building involving youth, academia, industry, and other actors to create sustainable innovation driven enterprises. He is a member of Global Shaper Community, an initiative of World Economic Forum. Though through MHRD Government of India, he is making national strategy to take the innovation and student startup movement across 10,000 plus colleges affiliated with AICTE across all states to harness creative potential of students across disciplines. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Hiranmaya Mahanta.
Thank you, Professor Mahadev Jaishwal, the Director of IIM Sambalpur, and distinguished faculty members of IIM Sambalpur, all the dignitaries who are present here. It's a great occasion for all of us to be here. I came first time to this campus, but I must say it would not be the last time. And we were really amazed by the kind of energy that you bring on today's program. I could see a lot of you taking notes, which is very unique one. I don't know what we are worthy of making you note, but we should share something. Okay, so yes, but let me congratulate Professor Jaishwal being the director of IIM Sambalpur. There are very few IIMs within a decade of its initiation has taken innovation and entrepreneurship as a core agenda. There are very few, because at least I'm associated with half a dozen of them. And that too on a foundation day, because if you think on foundation level, here is one of the agenda is innovation entrepreneurship, that shows your commitment. So I congratulate sir and all the faculty members and the students for making it as a spirit. And when I look to your director, I remember of a gentleman who was provost of Stanford in 1940 to 1945 called Frederick Tolman. Now I'll tell you a story why I correlate that when I see Professor Jaishwal. In 1939, that was the phase of World War II, right? US State Department decided that they should create a fund to fund innovations which can give them a winning hand in the war. लड़ाई में जीतने की लायक इनोवेशन बनाने के लिए उन्होंने एक फंड बनाया, जैसे आज शांत जी और बाकी सारे लोग बात करने वाले हैं. 1939 में वो फंड का कैपेसिटी था $450 मिलियन. इन्फ्लेशन और आप सब गिन लो, आज की तारीख में $450 मिलियन. एंड एट दैट टाइम रूजवेल्ट वाज अ वेरी मैवरिक लीडर. उन्होंने कहा बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों को पैसा देंगे, ये क्या करेंगे पता नहीं, लेकिन लेट अस ट्राई टू ओपन द डोर्स टू ऑल द यूनिवर्सिटीज इन यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, जैसे आपकी IIM संबलपुर है. तो यूनिवर्सिटी की प्रोवोस्ट डायरेक्टर्स को बुलाया, लाइक प्रोफेसर जयश्वल एंड ऑल केम. उस टाइम पे जो इक्विवेलेंट थे, MIT, कैलटेक, कोलंबिया, हार्वर्ड, स्टैनफोर्ड, ऑल टुगेदर. और सबको एक एक उस टाइम की चेक पकड़ाया गया कि आप लोग को कितना कितना साधन मिलेगा. कैलटेक वाज लीडर $82 मिलियन, 1939 बता रहा हूँ. देन MIT got some around $60 million. Harvard, of course, was a non-technology school at that time, liberal arts. उनको $30 million मिला. Columbia got that much. And can you guess Stanford को कितना मिला होगा? Any guess? Anyone? So let me give the answer. So Stanford University का प्रोवोस्ट को चेक मिला $50,000. कितना? $50,000 with a note. बोले आप इनोवेशन मत करो, आप टीचर ट्रेनिंग करो. आप तो ये, if you look at the US university ages, Stanford was comparatively new university. In 1939 it was a new one. Others said 200 years of legacy. तो उनको कहा कि आपको तो हम टीचर ट्रेनिंग का पैसा देंगे, आप कहाँ हथियार इनोवेशन कुछ बनाएंगे. एंड दैट डे समथिंग यूनिक हैपेंड फॉर द होल. तो उस टाइम पे द वाइस चांसलर ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी came back with that check and called a meeting of all the faculty and PhD scholars. उन्होंने कहा यार देखो, ये फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी क्या करता है क्या नहीं करता है, लेकिन दुनिया में आज से 30 साल बाद कोई ये तो ना कहे कि क्योंकि हम यंग हैं इसीलिए इनोवेशन कैपेसिटी भी छोटा होगा. राइट, लाइक टॉकिंग, गिविंग a correlation what IIM Sambalpur is trying to do. एंड उन्होंने कहा कि मैं ये चीज बाकी प्रोफेसर्स को थोप नहीं रहा हूं, मैं खुद लीड करूंगा. सो फेट टॉमलिन called his PhD students. One was William Hallett and David Packard, who went on to become the founder of HP. Their PhD students at that time in Department of Electrical Science. बोला कि आपकी PhD का थीसिस से कंपनी बननी चाहिए. तो पहली बात उनको पता ही नहीं था कि उस टाइम में स्टार्टअप का नाम नहीं था, डेफिनेशन नहीं था. यस. एंड उन्होंने कहा कि आपकी रिसर्च से कंपनी निकलना चाहिए. उनको भी समझ में नहीं आया प्रोफेसर क्या कह रहा है, राइट. बट देन द प्रोफेसर हु वाज द वाइस चांसलर, ही टोल्ड कि मैं तुम्हें गाइड करूंगा, लेट्स बिल्ड एन इनोवेशन आउट ऑफ इट एंड बिल्ड अ ग्लोबल थिंग. एंड ही डिड दैट. These two PhD scholars made a company called HP. And then the vice chancellor told all the professors, boss, I'm not dictating, I'm leading from the front. All of you have the responsibility. They decided that अगर अगले 30 साल बाद कोई दोबारा फंड बने और बांटा जाए तो उसमें कम से कम ये तो कोई ना कहे कि इनको टीचर ट्रेनिंग के लिए पैसा दे दो. And 30 years after, when this thing happened, of course, Professor Toman was not there, but if I extrapolate what has happened after now, this small policy change of the institution made sure that the students of that university made companies like, if I say, Google, HP, Netscape, and Azilent, and who not. And today, 1/6 of global economy are controlled by their founders of those universities, that university. So what I see when IIM Sambalpur taking big leap, big dream, very early, very young, led by a director like him, you can also surprise the world. You can also do amazing work. Only thing is, would you believe that it is not the neighbor's responsibility, it is also a collective responsibility. There might be many ideas, differentiation, there are many critical things that we need to look on, but can we take that spirit? And when I say this here, I'm not saying it as a hypothesis. We did that in the land of Gujarat. And two of our friends told about Odisha, or particularly this region, is known for mining the metals. But here I propose, can you also do mining of mines? That's a bigger problem to solve than only mining the metals. And what we did, I'll tell two quick stories and tell what we did and how we can go forward. In 2016, a 12th grade passed boy, along with his father, calls me up from Bhavnagar. It's a sea coast district of Gujarat. And his father says, I was told you counsel the young boys well. I want you to counsel my boy also. So I told, I will try. So I told his father, what's the problem? He says that my boy is getting a electronics engineering, which was considered a good department in one of the state IIT, but he don't want to study there. So I told, what's the problem? He says, he want to go to another IIT to study textile engineering. So I told, what's the problem? He says that I believe he is foolish. So I told him, okay, this is your argument as a father. So I called the son, who was a 12th grade guy. I told him, gentlemen, why your father think you are a fool? So this young boy says, sir, and honestly speaking, it was 2016. Hardly anybody knew what started out. He got a paper out of his pocket and showed it to me. He says, sir, देखो, engineer तो कहीं भी जाऊंगा तो बन जाऊंगा. बट मैंने सब IITs का स्टडी किया और एक IIT है जिसके हॉस्टल से 14 यूनिकॉर्न निकले. तो उस हॉस्टल की मेस की फूड में, वहां के वातावरण में कुछ तो होगा, राइट? अच्छा, आई वॉज ए पॉलिसी मेकर, आई वॉज डिजाइनिंग स्ट्रेटेजी फॉर द स्टेट. मैंने कभी एनालिसिस नहीं किया था कॉलेज जाने से पहले. आई डोंट नो IIM संबलपुर आने से पहले आप लोग कितने लोग स्टडी किए हो. तो फिर मैंने उसके फादर को कहा, देखो यार, जिसकी बच्चा इतना होमवर्क किया है वो बच्चा तो गलत भी हो सकता है. आई रिक्वेस्टेड हिम कि इसको अलाउ करो IIT दिल्ली में टेक्सटाइल पढ़ने के लिए, ना ही IIT गांधीनगर में इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स पढ़ने. एंड आई टुक द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू मेक श्योर दैट कि बच्चा घर से दूर जाए. जैसे आप में से बहुत सारे बच्चे दूर आए होंगे संबलपुर में, उसके कोई लोकल गार्डियन हो. सो आई डायल अप द डीन ऑफ द IIT. आई टोल्ड कि सर, किसी की फादर से झगड़ा करके बच्चा भेज रहा हूँ, तो ध्यान रखना. बट बच्चा ने ये कहा है कि आपकी हॉस्टल की वादियों में कुछ तो खूबसूरती है, वहां बड़ी बड़ी कंपनी निकलते हैं और ये इसीलिए ये छोड़ के वहां आ रहा है. सो प्रोफेसर ने बोला कि डिड यू काउंसिल हिम प्रॉपर्ली? आई टोल्ड, आई डोंट नो, बट आई बिलीव इज अ गुड गाय. 12th grade, what should I counsel him? Exactly 4 years later, I get a mail from the dean of IIT Delhi, a 5-line mail. He says, Kiranmay, I don't know what you mean by saying me 4 years before ki anybody can do anything. The same boy whom you referred is in the final year of my college. He built a company whose valuation is $1.2 billion before he graduated from the college. The boy's name is called Shashwat Nakrani. He founded Bharat Pay. He is 27 this year. Last year, he sponsored T20 World Cup in Australia. His father and his family went with him. And at that time, I told his father, sometimes mistakes are good. And mistakes in academia, mistakes in systems, mistakes in processes. And today, Shashwat says me, sir, उस दिन अगर वो कागज में पता नहीं आपने क्या देखा, क्या लॉजिक था आपके सोचने की. But many of us at young age are at the crossroad of decision making. And I believe you should listen to heart more than head. Head is okay. That gives you logical answers, right? All the knowledge that you feed, it processes and gives you. But how do you make sure that you make decisions right? And that's a matter of heart, right? A similar incident happened again. This kind of accidents happens with me many often. A boy from Bargad, it's nearby to Sambalpur. How far is it, Bodhi, from here? Bargad is half an hour. He sent me an email way back in 2014. And of course, 2014 में कोई email भेजे तो I thought he might be a serious guy. He sent me कि I have a business plan. आप लोग तो IIM में business plan की बात करते होगे ना? And I want to meet you. I told you, where are you? He says, I'm in Bargad. And I told him, let's meet. But when I read his bio, it was mentioned that he's studying in the 11th grade, section B, roll number this. I thought, what's crazy? So I tried to deny him the opportunity of getting linked to a mentorship process. But then I thought, let me link him to somebody in IIM Ahmedabad. So I invited him to connect to a professor in IIM Ahmedabad. And the boy was arguing in such a passionate manner, the professor thought he's out of his track. And the professor also told me, don't get such kind of boys every now and then. But then the boy came to my home in Ahmedabad and he says, sir, ये तो ठीक है, 3,821 रुपया चाहिए. So I told, what is that? He says that I have a presentation. I want to go and present in a TICON conference in Delhi in 2014. I have a pitch deck, I have a business plan, I have an MVP ready. लेकिन उस कॉन्फ्रेंस ताज पैलेस में हो रहा है, वहाँ खर्चा बहुत है, 3,821 का तो फी है पूछने का वहाँ. So then I told कि बॉस अभी तो मेरे पास नहीं है. Then he told कि no, I know you are connected. Can you call the organizers and make it free for me at least? So I told you that I can do. Okay. So somehow I could manage that, saving up that money. And he made a presentation. A lot of people rejected his ideas, almost 60 of investors. A year later, he says कि ज़्यादा नहीं, मुझे 30 लाख रुपए कहीं से दिलवा दो, तो मैं MVP बना लूँगा, minimum viable product बना लूँगा. I told I don't have 30 lakhs rupees, but I know a few people like Sushant ji who has money, right? So I connected him to a gentleman in Bombay. He got that money. The investor told कि देखो मैं तो भगवान के भरोसे डाल रहा हूँ. मैंने कहा कि मैं भी भगवान के भरोसे आपके पास भेज रहा हूँ, लेकिन विश्वास करना चाहिए इस देश के बच्चों को. And he was merely a 12th grade boy. 5 years exactly down the line, this boy built a unicorn called Oyo Room, and the founder was Ritesh Agrawal. And the investor who gave him that small money got 250x return of his investment. And at that time, this might be 26. What I'm trying to communicate, ऐसे हादसे सबके साथ हो सकते हैं. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for listening to what the world is trying to communicate to you? And when I look, Professor Jaishwal, last time when he came for the All India Vice Chancellor Conference, he was the only director from all the IIMs which the Honorable Education Minister was searching for. He told, have you seen him? I told, I have seen him somewhere else. He said that by next year, you should do something in IIM Sambalpur. I told, I'll definitely help. But it is the director who is going to drive it. And the next day he says, on the foundation day itself, I will get you all and get this thing done. And I was so surprised how faster, how agile, how lean a leadership could be. And I congratulate you, sir, for getting this thing done. When all these interesting things happened to us in policy making, I was also young. I told to the then Chief Minister of Gujarat that we should have fun. We should do more such experiments. And Gujarat government was kind enough to create a fund of failures, fund to fail, F2F. So we got 100 crore money, and we were told, can you support 1,000 ideas of different business schools, engineering schools, and other every year? And the finance minister was kind enough. He says that we assume that all the money that we are putting behind this project can go to dustbin, but then this will build a culture. So when I see IIM Sambalpur today putting resources, I also believe that not necessarily we should count the returns in terms of multipliers or money. We should look at what kind of impact we make in long run. With that 100 crore, we supported 7,000 teams. Average age was 25 across the state. 1,700 of them built companies. 2 of them went beyond 500 crores of value. And today, at least 500 of them are doing a revenue of more than $1 million before they graduated by getting a convocation degree from their college. Now, this is amazing. This is new India. Today, incentives are given to fail fast, not to succeed fast. Today, incentives are being given to be a deviant, not be a conformer. Today, incentives are being given for going away of the rule by showing what will be the future of rule. I call it as how can you dump your best practice method to go to next practice method. And I'm sure the kind of vision that Professor Jaishwal has put here, and all of you, I urge you, I'm not saying be an entrepreneur today, but at least try once in life. You will not have regret. And you must try that, because in your father's generation or grandfather's generation, there used to be one career, one life. Today, if somebody will finish one career, one life, it will be the dumbest one. And I urge you and encourage you to take risk, ask questions, And I have seen at least a dozen of unicorn founders turned become unicorn before 30, not because they're conformer, but because they asked questions. Many of them were nearly in the verge of going bankruptcy, but कभी शर्म नहीं किया 3,000 रुपये मांगने के लिए, because they loved what they do, because they believed in the idea that they're doing. And I believe uh, what we talked about, not only mining the metals, if you can mine the minds in this wonderful auditorium that we have, and you, of course, take the spirit beyond this auditorium, that will be a moment where IIM Sambalpur can take a leadership like Fred Tobin did for Stanford. I think Professor Jaiswal and his team can do it for IIMs. Thank you so much.
We thank you, sir, for sharing your wisdom with the students. As famously said by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, winners are not those who never fail, but those who never quit.
The persistent efforts of the MBA batch 2022 to 24 has finally come to fruition. The top 7 meritorious students will now be awarded a cash prize of 1 lakh rupees by Professor Mahadev Jaiswal for their academic excellence. We request you all to give a huge round of applause for all the students collectively. At 7th place, we have Akshay Mohan Chaudhary. At 6th place, we have Rahul Dhanuka. At 5th place, we have Devashish Malkani. At 4th place, we have Vishal Sadhu.
Now, it's time for the top three. Any guesses from the audience? Yes. At third place, we have Himanshu Dusa. At second place, we have Aditya Kumar. Now, please give a huge round of applause for MBA batch of 2024 topper Priya Pant. Congratulations to all the top performing students. Thank you, Director Sir, and all the dignitaries.
We now invite our guest of honor, Mr. Sushant Kumar, founder and principal, SKN Ventures and Indus Capital USA. He is a global business leader and an accomplished investment banker. He is also an advisor for companies such as Aditya Birla Group, Asian Paints, PwC, Oppenheimer, and Deutsche Bank. Mr. Sushant is a highly experienced investor who has made successful investments in several startups such as Dunzo, Zero Waste, and Texora. He has a vast personal investment portfolio valued at $750 million, which extends across India, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Sushant's extensive knowledge of the latest developments in the Indian startup ecosystem reflects his passion for the industry. He firmly believes in the tremendous potential for rapid growth in the Indian startup ecosystem and is always on the lookout for promising investment opportunities. With his expertise and experience, he is well equipped to navigate the global market and help startups achieve their full potential. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Jaiswal, and Honorable HRD Minister Mr. Pradhan, and Honorable guests, and my dear students. Am I audible to you? Am I audible to you? So I am that monk who drives a Ferrari. I have never sold my Ferrari. Okay? Let's start from there. I can see most of the sleepy eyes. I am always the middle order batsman. The match is decided. But here I'll have some very exciting, very short, crisp notes, I'll say. First of all, let's talk about the Google and Facebook to start with. You know what? How many of you know the gentleman called Ram Sriram? How many of you know? How many of you heard about him? Ram Sriram. He's the first investor to Google who gave the first check to Larry Page and Bin. Okay, you can Google it much later after I say it. So just to let you know, the Google is a company which never earned any money till 10th year. That is the confidence the investor have in him. That till 10th year they don't make any money. These are all the records in the as for the real world. Same with Facebook. Many startups we get afraid of getting funding. We get afraid of what will happen. How do I repay my loans? I'll talk very basic things here. How do I repay my what about the liabilities my parents has taken for me? And these are the major issues. Most of the startup ecosystem, most of you have asked me question also during my last session. How many of you are there in my last session? Okay. So now I like to put forward a few very basic points, which is as an investment, what are the areas of concern we look, and what are the areas of concern as a startup founder you feel. Okay, first is as usual job security, your loan repayments, the delay in getting an investment, delay in getting the second investment, delay in getting when I can get my ROI, what the investor will think, how do I get my valuation done, if I'm doing it from India, what are the challenges, and if at all I'm doing it from different part of, let's say I pass out from this institute, how will happen, what will happen to me, and how the funds still remain relevant to you. So these are the key questions most of you might ask or you might have. Apart from this, any other questions you have, like to make it more interactive. And trust me, I'm not at all boring, and I'll finish it very quickly. And before that, I like to announce, with the permission of Professor and yeah, announcement of $2 million funds to start this the incubation center based out of IIM Sambalpur. And trust me, I have never seen a dynamic director like Professor Jaiswal. And I have never seen a dynamic spouse like ma'am. So, like behind every successful director, there is a successful lady. So that's the entire story of success of Mr. Jaiswal. So anyway, to keep it very short and simple, um, we are going to start it as soon as possible. Today itself, I would like to sign the MOU, but there is some glitch in terms of the companies coming up. I think, sir, it will take how much time? Maybe 2 more months. So that's the assurance, and the current batch, the previous batch, or the passed out batch, all are eligible for this funding. And I will assure more fundings beyond this. And trust me, so four major things which I like to announce, like there is no pressure on your revenues, there is no pressure on your other factors, there is no pressure on your repayment of your loan, because when I do a startup funding in a B school, I'm aware of your study loans. I'm also aware of other challenges faced by your parents, by you. So those risk, and also will take a good amount of salary being also a founder of a company. So those are the assurance I'm giving you to start something, and the ideas are yours. As I told you earlier, what the Thomas Edison has told, like the idea is only 1%, rest is perseverance, and you should be self-motivated. Okay. Before I go further, any other questions you have for a quick session? Then I'll just make it more interactive rather than one-sided talk, silos. Any questions anyone has got? Any questions, sir? Anyone? You can stand up and be louder, not an issue.
How would I know that my idea is worth the risk?
What I told you a few minutes before, every idea is worth of risk. And second, as I told you, it's always about 1% ideation. Don't you think most of these startups have got a very similar domain, be it healthcare, be it gaming, be it technology specs? Let's say in today, everybody is developing AI, right? Everybody is a $1 billion enterprise. Am I not correct?
Yes.
Then why do you scare of your ideas? So I told four risks: your study loan, your parents' pressure, your per month salary. It will be taken care by our funding and incubations. So those are the key challenges, or the bottleneck which you feel that you should not do a startup. Apart from this, any other things which you want me to address, right? I will address it. I am
Uh,
aware of your pain areas, but still feel free to ask me.
sure. How to do the team building thing in the in the very early stage?
I think this is a typical B school question. Anyone can tell this answer, right? How to do team building.
As in choosing the right partners with me.
Okay, you can take anybody, not your girlfriend. That's your call. Please understand, you are an entrepreneur. This is your own idea. So you need to do it on your own. You please get out of your submissive mind. You should not dependent on investors' input at all. Investors' job is just to invest, and with a percentage of stakes. Rest all is your baby. It's your own child. Why at all you depend on these questions? Ideally, this should not be a question. This is your own baby. The way how your parents had brought you up, similarly, they didn't ask while taking your name, right, to someone else. Go ahead. What's the next question, please? Anyone? Yes, sir. It's an egg chicken story, it doesn't matter. But there is nothing called a half pregnancy. So if you have a defined idea, it will be delivered. So don't worry about that.
Are you putting it sector specific or it can be for any kind of idea?
It can be any idea. Any other question? Sir, ma'am? Is that all? It means everybody wants to be an entrepreneur? Anyway, so before I end the conversation, I don't like to drag it further, but feel free to ask or talk to professor or any other doubts you have. But from my side, within 2 months' time, sir has already committed, and I would like to congratulate sir and Mr. Mahanta. He all the way he publicly declared that I am a wealthy man. Trust me, I do pay my tax. So, on a lighter note, I would encourage you. And as I told you, I'm doing a lots of startup funding incubations in most of these B schools. So I'm aware of those challenges, these frequently asked questions and all. So we'd like to take it forward from here. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful input. Now, the chief guest of the event, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, will address the gathering. He was unable to join us today due to his busy schedule, but he has been kind enough to share a video message for the celebration of our Foundation Day. We request you all to bring your attention to the screen.
Professor Mahadev Jaishwal, Director, IIM Sambalpur, Sri Arindam Mukhopadhyay, Partner, India Accelerator, Sri Hiranmaya Mahanta, CEO, iHub Gujarat, Sri Sushanta Mishra, Venture Capitalist from USA, Sri Bodhisattva Sanghapriya, Founder and CEO, IG Drones. As we gather here today to celebrate the 9th Foundation Day of IIM Sambalpur, it's a momentous occasion to reflect on some significant milestone in our nation's recent history, which I believe will inspire and guide you in your future endeavors. First and foremost, our parliament passed the historic Women's Reservation Bill, Nari Shakti Bandhan Adhiniyam, from the premises of the new parliament building a day before. This landmark legislation is a significant stride towards achieving gender equality in democratic institutions. It ensures that the voice of our women will be heard louder and clearer in the houses of our parliament and state assemblies. Henceforth, the women of this country will have a much more prominent role in the shaping our nation's policies and decision-making process. Who knows, among the bright young minds seated in the audience today, there may be a future women legislature who will play a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of our nation. Friends, India, under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, is forging ahead and becoming a role model for the world, especially among the emerging economies. We all took pride in witnessing the successful G20 summit, a testament of our commitment to global cooperation and inclusion. In the realm of education, our nation's leaders have recognized the transformative potential of the National Education Policy 2020. This policy focuses on holistic development, innovation, and nurturing global citizenship among our youth. It paves the way for a brighter, more inclusive future for all our students. However, as we march ahead, it is essential to acknowledge our greater responsibilities towards society. There's one thing you should remember from my address today. It is the concept of kartavyabodh, the profound sense of duty towards our society. I urge all of you, the future leaders of our nation, to embrace this concept wholeheartedly. Your education and abilities are not merely for personal gain, but also for the betterment of our society. Remember that you have the power to be both wealth creators and job creators. Don't just seek opportunities, but also create them for others. This is how we truly grow as a nation. I am told that the theme of your Foundation Day conference is accelerating startup ecosystem. NEP 2020 places a strong emphasis on innovation and startups in the education system. It recognizes the importance of fostering an entrepreneurial spirit among students and integrating innovative thinking into the curriculum. It calls for establishment of research parks, innovation hubs, and incubation centers within and around higher education institutions to nurture innovation and support startups. In this regard, I am delighted to see the partnership and collaboration that IIM Sambalpur has formed with organizations like India Accelerator, SIDBI, ONDC, and Flipkart. This partnership will play a crucial role in the promoting startups and supporting the business of weavers and artisans in our region. Let the core values of IIM Sambalpur, innovation, inclusiveness, and integrity, be your guiding light in all your endeavors. While IIM Sambalpur has equipped you with the knowledge and skills to excel in your careers, always remember the greater purpose: strive for excellence, contribute to society, and uphold the values that will help us transform into a Vikasit Bharat by 2047. Resonate with the Honorable Prime Minister's words, 2047 में मेरे देश विकसित भारत बन के रहेगा. With this, I extend my heartiest congratulations to all of you, and I have full faith in the potential of IIM Sambalpur to lead India to a new heights. The future is indeed bright, and it begins with you. Jai Ma Shamleshwari.
We would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Sri Dharmendra Pradhan, who enriched our understanding on entrepreneurship and skill development.
We will now initiate a roundtable discussion on accelerating startups ecosystem. The purpose of this discussion is to create the space for sharing ideas and bring diverse perspectives to accelerating startups ecosystem. The discussion will be led by our esteemed panelists, Mr. Arindam Mukhopadhyay, Partner India Accelerator, Mr. Hiranmaya Mahanta, CEO iHub Gujarat, Mr. Shishant Kumar, Founder and Principal, Hisken Ventures and Indus Capital USA, Mr. Deepak Sharma, co-founder of India Accelerator and IA Labs.
We also introduce Mr. Bodhisattva Sangapriya, founder and CEO IG Drones. He is a TEDx speaker for innovation works in diversified domains right from rural technology to rocket science. His diversity in his domain of innovation has won him the acclaim of serial innovator. A two times Chief Minister awardee, co-founder of IG Drones, Molodo Vezda, awarded by the Russian Federation for his contribution to space science. He is the founder of VSSUT, Student Satellite Team, which is India's first and only multi-purpose student rocketry team. Under the vivid leadership of him, the team has won many prestigious international and national awards from NASA, ISRO, Limca Book of Records, BRICS, to name a few. IG Drones, since its inception, has marked the footprint in over 25 states and have executed more than 250 projects and have retained 75% of existing client base with AI-driven drone data analytics services. We now open the floor for the roundtable discussion. Okay. So he is also pursuing his executive MBA from IIM Sambalpur. from Delhi campus.
So let me be the founder of the panel, okay? So, so thank you so much. I think the time that has been given to this panel, there are a few questions all of you might be thinking. I will start with the youngest man here, not biologically, but also emotionally and in terms of taking risk. Bodhi. So, if I am Sambalpur want to create 50 more Bodhis from this audience, what should be done? What do you think that you missed in your college? What these guys can get it?
Hello. Myself Bodhi Sato, and I'm founder and CEO of IG Drones. Sir, interesting question. I think actually pretty much all the audience are asking the same question: how they can start, how they can build their own enterprise. So, being a student entrepreneur, actually I'm a student entrepreneur along with my co-founder Om. We started a company while we were in the university, in the same university as in the BSS Burla, same location. I've been to associated with this area, this region for a quite long time, 10 years, and been a warrior of innovation. What is warrior of innovation? I have been fighting with my faculties, fighting with students, fighting with the system, fighting with the bureaucrats, fighting with the politicians, all because of innovation. And it's good to see that a director of an Indian Institute of Management, Professor Jaiswal, is actually a evangelist of innovation. He's actually dedicating his entrance and the most precious building in the name of innovation. And we rarely see this kind of attitude. And for the last 10 years, I've been actually fighting for a long journey, a long war with all of these stakeholders only for the sake of innovation. Why? It's important. When we come from a region, the eastern part of India, so here the stereotype is people usually believe that we are not made for entrepreneurship. Usually we are made for for job, for 9 to 5 job. While we were in the university, we started building a project and we started building rocket, and everybody laughed at us. When you start building rocket, everybody will laugh at you. It's pretty obvious. And our faculty, students, family, friends, everybody laughed at us. But we continued our journey. We failed 100 plus times, and finally we succeeded. And we became Asia's first multi-purpose student rocket. And when our rocket reached to an altitude of 16,000 feet AGL, and the rocket was launched from the same location where IIM Sambalpur is now built. And it was a barren land, and the and it became Asia's first multi-purpose rocket, and it got registered on Limca Book of Record. And then somehow, one fine day, Prime Minister himself read the news, and he was wondering how 40 engineering students in a remote part of India, a place called Burla, Sambalpur, they were able to build a technology that ISRO used to build in 1980s under Vikram Sarabhai's leadership. And he instructed ISRO that you should go and check out how these engineering students were able to crack the technology. And one fine day, 20 senior scientists from ISRO, they landed in airport and then directly reached to my university. And my vice chancellor told me that I don't have any connection with this project. You go face the senior scientist. Because I am a government official, so I cannot actually do a lot of things. You go and face. I don't have any connection. So it was all student driven. It was all started by students, managed by students, and led by the students. So that's why my university told me you to face the students. And then I took 3 hours to convince ISRO scientists that we don't have a rocket propulsion lab. And ISRO scientists were continuously asking me the same question. So, what's your rocket propulsion lab? So, what's your rocket building lab? But we didn't have a lab. We built the entire technology in our hostel backyard. We took 4 years, 40 members, and then we built a rocket that reached to an altitude of 40 kilometers. It was a 4 years journey. Entrepreneurship is not a overnight, success. So people think that if you raise money, and there are a lot of investors. Investors' money is not free money. If you raise money, so it's not like you raise money and then you enjoy life and then you get exit and like it's a, you know, you call yourself a billionaire. But it's entrepreneurship journey is full of hurdles. So when you start an idea, so our idea was very simple. We were building a rocket. A rocket will carry a satellite to an altitude of 40 kilometer near Hirakud Dam, and it will continuously monitor the entire ICOT area of Hirakud Reservoir, and it will give different kind of analytics and solutions, particularly related to the agriculture, and it will help the local farmers, particularly increasing their productivity. And a few journalists like Jusman Dada here, and they helped us and to take this news to the Prime Minister office. And because and and when we built that technology and ISRO completely acquired the technology, and we thought and we'll build something on our own, and we are in the final year of our semester, and everybody was just opting for the 9 to 5 job, and the entire country was that time tuning in the vibe of startup India and stand up India. Me and my co-founder Om, we thought if we have done this rocket building technology, we have exhibited in so many things, we cannot just sit for the 9 to 5 job. We'll build something on our own. And then we approach our mentors, and every mentor told us the same story. You guys have proved yourself as an innovator. You should better join an higher degree course, particularly MTech or MS, or better you join a research and development path. We thought we have proved everybody that even a technology can be built in Sambalpur. Then why a innovation, why an entrepreneurship culture cannot be built in Sambalpur? Then we took a challenge, and the next day we approached a nearby industry. It's called very popular industry, Indalco, operated by Aditya Birla Group, and we approached them. We told them we have a technology that is a rocket and satellite, and then can actually do a remote sensing work. They told us yes, we have some requirement, but we don't have a requirement. We cannot actually launch the rocket every day, so there is a question of viability. So we were engineering students in the final year. We didn't have any knowledge, in depth knowledge about the economics, unit economics, finance, and the return of investment. Then we figured out, and we immediately replied them, so there is a cheaper alternative, and the cheaper alternative is drone. Whatever you can actually do from the satellite, the same can be achieved through drone at a better resolution. And immediately we replied, and within 3 days we were there with our prototype. Just by seeing our enthusiasm, the Aditya Birla offered us a work, and they sent me email that comprises just some checklist, the checklist of COI, GST, and all. I only got to know, and I had only idea about Aadhaar card and PAN card, and the rest, all these documents were like very, 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 very completely new for me. And then we figured out why I am telling this story. So you need to understand, I am a first generation entrepreneur. Even my co-founder is also first generation entrepreneur. We were engineering students. We started building everything from scratch. Even we didn't know what is a certificate of incorporation. Even we didn't know what is a GST. Then we registered a company while in the final semester, and then we got the first order from Aditya Birla. Then we approached Reliance, and then we got the next order. Then we thought, yes, the stereotype is selling is not in our blood. When these two conglomerates started giving us the orders, we thought and we realized the solution is really working on the market, and the industry is ready to pay us. Then we started building our product and simultaneously onboard a series of clients. Now 5 years down the line, we started with a small place, small abandoned canteen in Burla. Currently we are headquartered at Delhi with 5 regional offices. We have onboarded 300 large enterprises like Adani, JSW, JSPL, and have already executed 500 projects all across India. So we are a proudly K2K company. We are started from Sambalpur, currently headquartered at Delhi, but we are a Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Kutch to Kohima. It's a K2K operations. And just within 48 hours, with the power of our technology and the power of the community, my team can reach to any part, anywhere anywhere in India. So whether it be Kashmir, Kanyakumari, Kutch, or Kohima, any location you give, will be there in 48 hours. And this all journey started from Sambalpur and then scaled to the nationally. Currently, we are planning to go globally, and what my point is, it's not like you should come from a tier 1 tier 2 cities, then only you will be able to build something. Here I am students in IIM campus, everybody has that kind of access to knowledge. Sorry, actually talking about the access to knowledge, access to information, access to ecosystem back then. And I was talking about 2013 or 2014, and that time I have developed some kind of innovation and I just want to patent that innovation. And I boarded a train and without any ticket, and I just got to know that there is a patent workshop going on in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad, and just got to know about from news or from in social media. Then I boarded a train from Jharsuguda station to Ahmedabad without any ticket. And then then when I reached there, I met somebody called Hirannamaya Mahanta, and he was the chief curator of that event. And we didn't know he hailed from Odisha, but we didn't know that time. And somehow I got to know about the patent. To learn patent, I traveled 1500 kilometer without a ticket. But now, 10 years down the line, the ecosystem has completely changed. What Professor Jaiswal is trying to build here and in the Delhi campus, so all the patents, all the investment, all the ingredients required to build a startup, to nurture a idea and to take the idea from mind to market, that is what in available in your campus. Now, two fund houses are present here to put money into your ventures. So it's all set, the stage is already set. Now you need to do one thing, just to start. And then again, one questions are, do everybody don't have the capability to innovate? So everybody believes in that. Most of the people believe in that, but I don't believe in that. I believe that so innovation is not somebody's birthright. Thinking new is not somebody's birthright. So I believe in a formula that actually help you to innovate. It's a very simple. It's I plus I is equal to I. So what is this I stands for? So first I stands for interest. You should have the interest first, and the second I stands for internet. You should have the access to internet, access to knowledge, and then it results innovations. So interest plus internet is equal to innovation. Thank you very much.
तो, तो आज सुबह सुबह जब 4 बजे मैं इस शहर में पहुंचा तो मोदी ने कहा कि मैं आपको जगह ले जाता हूँ जहाँ रॉकेट छोड़ा था. मैं नींद में था, मुझे लगा जो भी जगह दिखा दोगे सही लगेगा. But then they forced me to get out of your guest house here. I went with him. They showed me an island inside the Hirakud Dam, जहाँ से उन्होंने छोड़ दी थी रॉकेट बिना परमिशन का. So I believe it's a good idea that sometimes taking risk is very important. And as he told, sometimes taking risk at this age is good, and if you don't take risk, it's actually a risk. Okay. So if I come to Sushant ji, I mean, you have been, of course, late stage investment आप करते ही हैं. Many of these young entrepreneurs, when they try to build something and raise finances, आपने बहुत सारे लोगों का pitch deck देखते होंगे, बहुत सारे का presentations लेते होंगे. Which are few things that each of them should address when they come to the first check in their life? पहली बार जब किसी को पैसा मांगने आए, क्या होमवर्क करके आना चाहिए अपने आइडियाज के बारे में?
Thanks, Mahanta sir. First of all, you asked me a very genuine question, like if anyone approach an investor first of all, he should not drive a Mercedes Benz to ask an investor. So coming back on a serious note, your pitch should have very clarity in terms of business, in terms of process, and in terms of short-term goal, in terms of long-term goals. I repeat, do not get afraid of repetitions. Do not get afraid of duplicacy of your data or your ideas. In today's world, there are thousands odd stories you find in OTT, in movie and digital. Still, the new stories are coming. Still in the similar domain. It's like same way. It's more about the entrepreneur. It's more about that individual who is doing it. For example, let's talk about Facebook. If you do it in Odisha, you will be put behind the bar, right? The way he did face mask and all those, all those startup story of Facebook. So there is a geography centric, there is a cultural sensitive points. There are dynamism differently, how it is behaving different part of the globe. And if it satisfied everything, why not? And now it's a global platform. As I told you, there is made in India, Apple iPhones, there are made in India, lots of products which is coming. So it's a very simple. Do not worry about your PPT, PDFs, or good looking jazzy business work. It should be typical A4 size paper. We should have a very clarity. Like the way you all love Rajinikanth, being he's a bald guy, he doesn't have a body, but he's the most popular actor here in the world, right? Because he's original. So come with your original, what you are, what you can support, what you can provide, and what you can deliver. I'll keep it clear there itself. Thank you, sir.
I think this is very simple. You want to confuse with a 30-page thesis, okay? One pager, very precise information, what your problem solving is. I think that attracts the money. And if you go and Google out the most of the famous pitch decks of very famous companies like Facebook, Google, and see their original pitch decks that are made available on internet, they're hardly 8-10 pages in which they got millions of dollars and build a billion-dollar company. So simplicity is something that we must take away. And the point that you
Sir,
mentioned.
one last point. Based on a 4-page PPT, I've invested $1.5 million at highest in
Look,
one of the IIMs.
4 स्लाइड है, 4 स्लाइड, इतने में तो आपको 1 क्रेडिट भी नहीं मिलेगा शायद, राइट? 4 स्लाइड्स में $1.5 million लगाया. This is how investors looks into. This is how, see, today investors has more fear to lose you than you fear to lose their money. So you must care to them what they're saying, you know. Day in, day out, they're looking for those 4 slides. Can you seduce them, right? Thank you, sir. So now, if I come to our team from IIM ji, this is a business school, and of course, one of the leading business school. We are mentoring a lot of startups and all these things. And this one problem that many young entrepreneurs come to me and say that they don't get a very quality mentorship. They don't get a very structured program of guidance. Which are the essential thing that you think entrepreneurs like them or something require in a mentorship process, and how IIM Sambalpur ecosystem should set up certain things so that if some of them has ideas, they get a very adequate mentorship?
That what will you need, right? So it's not a mentorship like somebody asks a question that how do I build a team? It's not that kind of mentorship. Mentorship which will probably help you when you are starting journey as an entrepreneur. So I think that clarity of what we are trying to do is, something which is of extreme importance. And that should be kept in your mind. One of the things I wanted to, and I learned it. And I found very interesting that innovation requires three things. It's called MIT, and it's developed by MIT in Boston. The model is MIT, which is market, implementation, and technology. Right? The confluence of these three things which will help you to bring an innovation to market. It cannot be satisfied one or two of them and then also be able to build your venture. It's not possible. If you think of the implementation which is going to be provided by this incubator, within IIM Sambalpur, if you talk about technology, I think all of you have access to technology that you just seem to get access to nowadays. But market is something which is very important, and that's where I think the industry plays a role. Like what Bodhi mentioned, that for him to take up that idea and to prove that that idea is actually having a product market fit. He had to convince one or two the companies in the beginning. They gave him the project, and then he was very confident that yes,
think this product is going to sell. I think these three things which is very, very important. And along with that, you have to build your idea. Along with that, you have to identify that where you require help, whether it is, you know, the product development itself, whether you have developed the product and you want to access the product market fit, whether you have the product market fit and you have to design the go-to-market, whether you have the go-to-market, but now you have to go for customer acquisitions and how do you go about that. So there are various stages. And then finally, of course, you know, how do you make the business profitable, how to be on the path of profitability. Like profitability cannot come on day one probably, but how to be on the path of profitability, how to design your processes and you know, the business in a manner that is you know, keeping that aim that one day it will be profitable. That's very critical. And that's one of the things investors currently look for, apart from any other thing, that whether the business, what you are building, that's going to be profitable someday, right? So I think these are few things which you keep in mind. At the end of the day, I also, you know, like to quote Eric Rice, who is basically the author of the book Lean Startup, and then he recently wrote a book, not recently, I think a couple of years back, uh, the startup way. And he defines startup to be an organization which can bring new ideas, new innovations in an extreme uncertainty kind of an environment. Right? So that's essentially what an startup is. You'll be working with a lot of uncertainties, a lot of things which are not clearly defined, ambiguous, and you are the entrepreneur spirit who has to, you know, solve all these things. You will get mentorship along the way, but I think that clarity has to come from within, and that's probably going to take it far.
So add something.
Just a quick point here regarding the profitability. If you see most of the uh, Ivy League, Fortune 500, or maybe the unicorn are not profitable. You would have seen that, be it education or be it healthcare and all. You would have seen lots of startups undergoing in not so profit stage. So guys, being a startup entrepreneur, do not worry about profit always. Look for the idea, because as an investor, we all are assuring you profit is not a criteria we're looking. We are looking for a good entrepreneurship and innovation, and of course it's it is not always about the valuation, it's always about the ethics which you are doing it. Thank you.
Wonderful. So, if I come to Deepak ji, you do a lot of acceleration and all these things. Would you take a minute to explain them what exactly is the process of acceleration if they want to build a company today?
Thank you, Ranji, for asking the question. When we look at, so there are two specific concepts which are there. One is incubation, the other one is acceleration. So we have incubators, we have accelerators. Now there is this series which is called technology readiness level. So it's called TRL. So typically TRL has 9 stages, TRL 1 to TRL 9. And TRL 1 to 4 essentially is done in an incubator. So this is where you essentially try to identify a specific problem. You try to do a research around that specific problem. You try to identify what kind of customer persona would be for that specific problem. And then you build prototypes. You do prototypes. You try to take that MVP into the market. You try to have some early customers and get some traction and validate on your specific idea. That is something which is the least you could do as part of the incubation process. And I would highly recommend that you do it as part of the IIM Sambalpur's incubator cell that we have here. Now, once there is a proof of revenue and we know that this can turn out into a successful, viable business venture, that's where then accelerators come into the picture. So we are a early stage private startup accelerator. We are based out of Delhi NCR, and then we have hubs across Gurgaon, Noida, Ahmedabad, Pune, Dubai, as well as in Silicon Valley. So that's where once we identify that the startup has a good proof of revenues, it has a good founding team. It has a good traction, and the technology which they are building is really cool. Then what we do is we seek for applications from the startups. There are different verticals that we have within India Accelerator. So there is a deep tech, there is fintech, there is agri-tech specific vertical, there is cybersecurity, there is sports media and entertainment, and so on and so forth. So there are these startups which are into the TRL 4 plus stage. They apply for acceleration to India Accelerator. And we are very selective in terms of choosing the startups. Out of 100 plus applications, we select about 2 to 3% of them. Once a startup is onboarded, then what we essentially do is there is a twin track mentorship model that we do. So there is one track which is mentorship on the horizontal scale, which is applicable irrespective of the domain. So things like lean startup, design thinking, OKRs, business model, lean canvas, which are applicable to any kind of startups, irrespective of the business model. Those are mentorship sessions which are done by senior startup founders and industry practitioners to help fine tune on the business model. Then there are domain specific mentors. So if there is a health tech startup, we would have doctors, we would have clinical guys, we would have CIOs and CTOs of health tech who would be coming in and helping them from a domain specific mentors. So that's the first level that we do in terms of mentorship. The second level that we do is we have connects with corporates, with government, and with different industry bodies. That's where we try to take up those specific startups to the industries and see that if there are avenues for business growth and if they could acquire customers. So we really help in terms of their specific business growth. Once the scale has achieved to a pre sort of product market fit or pre-PMF stage that we see, then we also have our own specific network where the startup pitches in. We try to raise a follow-on funding. We also have SEBI approved Cat 1 and Cat 2 alternate investment funds. We take the startups to those select investors and also invest through our own specific funds. So that's where we help them raise through the funds. And then we have accelerated about 200 plus startups in the last 7 years. So there is a rich, thriving community of startup founders where they also learn from each other in terms of what has worked, what has not worked in their specific cycle. So essentially, we provide these 4 C's, which is capital, competency, connections, and community. We have overseas specific locations where we are available. So those are 2. One is in Dubai, UAE, and another one is in Silicon Valley in US. So that's where the startup also has an opportunity if there is a very solid business case of reaching out into the overseas specific market. We also help the startup either raise the funds there or also take them for their specific business growth. So these are few areas where we help the startups in terms of taking them to the next level.
Wonderful, thank you. I think I don't want to be the culprit of taking time before your lunch, but yes, I think we did a great job of understanding how this thing looks like. Wonderful faculty members sitting here, professors teaching you. I wish I could have get some lessons from them also. But in the paucity of time, before I conclude, to give you the mic to Professor Jaishwal to address, you had a question. I think you asked which ideas are worth taking risk or kitna had tak risk lona chahiye. So I mean,
Sir,
this.
Before you answer, just add 2
Yeah.
seconds. Guys, please understand, your dream has no value. Please understand, the guy who founded Rolex watch, he didn't start from Titan. Meaning it was a Rolex watch from the beginning. So do not worry about the size of funding as a parameter to your dreams. Sometimes some startups are valued at day 0 itself, multiple $1 million. That is exist in US, that is also coming to in India. So don't discount any of your thoughts. You can do anything and everything. And there are fundraisers, there are funds available. The size doesn't matter here. Thank you.
Wonderful. So I think these are golden rules. कुछ लोगों को ये थोड़ा ज्ञान लगता होगा जब आप खुद करोगे ना, you will build something, build a team, By the way, none of this theory works on the ground. You need to be your own monk. You need to be your own writer of theories to implement things. What worked for Bodhi might not work for me, right? So, थोड़ा सा theory से सीखने का और थोड़ा life से सीखो. I think market is the best guy to tell you what works. But coming to your point, you asked कितना हद तक risk लेना चाहिए, right? Because this is essential. Many entrepreneurs ask me, because there are many, we excite young people a lot, and sometimes in a bad direction, excitation kills a lot of energy in the ecosystems. But one guy taught me something, I must tell you. कहता था कि सर एक्साइटेशंस इतना होना चाहिए कि दीवानगी और पागलपन की फर्क बताओ, right? There is something called divangi. You love something in a rational way. And there is pagalpan, madness. You love it madly, right? So there's a thin line between it. In your love of the idea, there should be a rationality. Why you do that, how you do that. Not without rationality. I mean, you can feel for an idea, but not with the logic. ऐसा नहीं चलता. You should have something matrix. You are all in B schools, right? There might be some parameters, some factors, some counters, some strategies, some things to look into. So if you can do that, I'm sure you will get a great job. I will look to the headmaster of the institution today, to some of the institution director, Jaishwal sir.
Yes. Thank you, Aaron, and thank to the entire members of the panel giving such insightful ideas to the young group. I come from academia, so I'll just try to explain the difference between entrepreneurship and startups. Because many times people do confuse that whether it's same. Entrepreneurship is nothing but the livelihood, because you sell some product which is already known in some different markets and earn your money from the day one and survive for your livelihood. Whereas startup is nothing to do with money, as Sushant rightly said. Startup is to solve particular problems, and investors are looking for what problem you are really going to solve. And the problem has to solve with self-sustaining money, that it should create fund. So therefore, how we define startup? Startup is nothing but if you can convert your innovation into invoice. That is a very simple definition. And once you are able to convert your innovation into invoice, Sushant and Hirnamay and India Accelerator will come forward and provide all kind of financial and other supports. So that's how. And now coming to that, where should we look for those innovation? You don't have to innovate yourself. Bodhi has innovated a product which is not very easy, very, very difficult, and that in rocket science and drone. You don't have to do you're an MBA students, you don't have to get into technology. What is your job? One way I can see that you have 17 SDG goals, Sustainable Development Goals, 17. You pick up any one of this goal, whether it's energy, whether it's poverty, whether it's health, whether it's clean energy or clean air, and use technology, because every problem, the solution is technology now. AI, blockchain, metaverse, so many technologies are there. Just connect with technology and any of the objectives of SDG. Try to solve that. Sustainability is a very big area, but that is all covered in the SDG. So if you can look problems within those segments and convert with your business and then come out with your commercialization idea, that how you will convert that into the market and get people to buy that ideas. That is very simple, and that is the area for entire scope for experimentations. And that not necessarily you have to leave your company or job. You must remember, don't sell your beautiful, valuable life to become a servant forever. Be the owner, and that is possible only when you take entrepreneur journey. You can become chief secretary, you can become CEO or president of a company. Ultimately, you are a servant. If you really want to be owner, solve the socio-economic problems using your brain, because you are privileged class. Okay, you are a privileged class. You know how to do. You can take risk, because market will fund you just because of your affiliations, and therefore you only can create difference. As Hiranmaya talked about Stanford, Harvard, why USA has become number one country? It is only these three universities. That's all. They created large number of innovators, which created solution to the whole world, not only for US. Google, Facebook, everything is here. They came from those universities. I think time has come when we have a very strong government, center, state, everywhere, stable government, is the right opportunity, and we have a lot of investors coming now. Otherwise, they were hardly seen here. They're coming up to the place like Sambalpur, giving, $2 million or $1 million on the spot without asking any questions, without asking any document. I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to experiment and make your life valuable and create valuable assets for which you will feel proud forever. Thank you.
Thank you all for your insightful and thought provoking discussion, which has indeed shed light on the pathway of startup ecosystem. It will act as a guidance of today's youth to walk on this beautiful entrepreneurial journey, encouraging them to leave footprints on the sand of time and history.
We now call upon our Director Sir Professor Mahadev Jaiswal to felicitate Mr. Hiranmaya Mahanta, CEO of iHub Gujarat. We now call upon Mr. Amrut Mohanty to honor our guests for today. Mr. Arindam Mukhopadhyay, Partner, India Accelerator. Mr. Deepak Sharma, Co-Partner, India Accelerator. Mr. Sushant Kumar, Founder and Principal. We request our Director Sir to felicitate Mr. Sushant Kumar, who is the founder and principal of YesCan Ventures and Indus Capital, USA. We request Mohanty Sir to felicitate Mr. Bodhisattva Sanghapriya, founder and CEO, IG Drones. We also have among us Mr. Om Prakash Das, founder, IG Drones and COO. He is a sales and strategy head at IG Drones. He is skilled in sales, entrepreneurship, management, startups, and leadership. We would now like to felicitate him. I request you all to give a huge round of applause.
We request Mr. Amrut Mohanty to propose the vote of thanks. Welcome, sir.
As finally, we have come to the closing of the 9th Foundation Day celebration of IIM Sambalpur. And in this context, a wise saying of Robert Frost aptly suits the occasion. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. With this note, I, on behalf of the entire IIM Sambalpur fraternity, take this opportunity of extending our heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed dignitaries on the dais who have accepted our invitation at a very small and short notice. And in spite of their pressing schedule, they have reached here in time, and we are thankful to you all, sirs, and for such insightful deliveries. And we look forward to your continuous support throughout. In the process, I would extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest of today's function, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Our guest of honor, Mr. Arindam Mukhopadhyay, Partner, India Accelerator. Mr. Deepak Sharma, Co-founder and Managing Partner, India Accelerator. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Hiranmay Mahanta, CEO, IIM Gujarat. Our guest of honor again, Mr. Sushant Kumar, founder and principal, SKN Ventures and Capital USA. And above all, I also express my gratitude to our esteemed director, Professor Mahadev Jaiswal, for his continuous guidance and support in all our endeavors in making the program a success. My sincere gratitude to all our esteemed faculty members, officers, staff, above all students, and most important, all our media and press partners. Thank you. We look forward for a better future with better promises. Thank you.
Moving forward, we would request everyone to please rise up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you all. We request all the dignitaries to join us for a group photo and lunch in the lobby area. And also all the participants.
Not headcount, just absentees taken.
आप रहेंगे क्या ऊपर में? ऊपर में? इधर
Anyone don't give, will have an attendance. अभी जाओ मेरे से
हमारे क्लास में